Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can crochet your own Among Us mini crewmate, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know down below. So with that said, let's get started. Here are all the materials that you will need to make your own crewmate. You will need black yarn, light blue-gray yarn, any color of your choice, white yarn, polyfill, scissors, stitch markers, a sewing needle, some pins, and a crochet hook that matches your yarn. I'm using a 4.25mm hook. So for the first round, I'm going to show you a way to start your crochet rounds without using the magic ring or magic circle, because that can sometimes be a little difficult. So what we're going to do is you're going to chain 2, and then once those 2 chains are complete, you are going to single crochet 6 into that first chain. And once you have single crocheted 6, take the tail and you're going to pull it tight to close the circle. Now after each round you want to make sure to mark your stitch, and then round 2 you're going to increase 6 times all the way around, having a total of 12 stitches at the end. For round 3, you're going to single crochet 2 and then increase, and you're going to repeat that 4 times, and at the end of this round you should have 16 stitches. For round 4, we're going to single crochet 2 and then increase 5 times, and then do 1 single crochet at the end, and that should leave you with 21 stitches total. For round 5, you're going to single crochet and then increase. Repeat that 10 times and then finish with 1 single crochet, and you should have 31 stitches at the end of this round. For round 6, you're going to single crochet 2, increase, and repeat that 10 times, and then finish with another single crochet, and you should have 41 stitches at the end of this round. For round 7, you're going to single crochet all the way around, but you are only going to single crochet into the back loop of each stitch. And at the end of this round, you should still have 41 stitches total. For rounds 8 through 17, you're going to single crochet around for 10 total rounds, and at the end you should still have 41 stitches. After round 17, this is how it should look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 rounds. For round 18, we are going to begin to decrease, so single crochet 4, and then invisible decrease, and repeat this 6 times, and then finish with 5 single crochets, and at the end of this round you should have 35 stitches. For round 19, you're just going to single crochet around, and at the end you should still have 35 stitches total. At this point, I recommend starting to stuff the body and make sure that you stuff it enough so it's slightly round. For round 20, you are going to single crochet 2 and then invisible decrease and repeat that pattern 8 times, and then you're going to single crochet 3. And at the end of this round, you should have 27 stitches. For round 21, you are going to single crochet all around, and you should still have 27 stitches at the end. You're going to want to continue to stuff as you crochet from this point on. For round 22, you're going to single crochet and then invisible decrease and repeat this 9 times, and at the end of this round you should have 18 stitches. For our final round, round 23, you're going to invisible decrease all the way around 9 times, and at the end of this round you should have 9 stitches. What I like to do before I sew my piece closed, I like to shove a little ball of stuffing at the top to make sure it's completely stuffed. Now we can fasten off and sew the top closed. Make sure that you leave enough yarn when you cut it so that you have enough to use to sew the top shut. To sew this hole closed, I grab my needle and I thread it through each of the front loops of all 9 stitches at the top, and once I've done that, I pull the yarn tight and it closes the hole. Once everything is closed, I just use my needle to make a knot to keep everything sewn together, and then I hide the excess yarn inside of the body. So we are now going to get started on the legs, and again I'll show you guys how to do the alternate way to start without the magic ring or magic circle. So you're just going to get a loop on your hook like normal, and then you will chain 2, and then you're going to single crochet 6 into the first chain again. Once you have single crocheted 6, then you're going to pull the excess yarn to close the circle. For round 2, you are going to increase all around 6 times, and you should have 12 stitches at the end of this round. For round 3, you're going to single crochet 3 and then increase, and you're going to repeat this 3 times and you will have 15 stitches. For round 4, you are going to single crochet all around, but in the back loop of the stitches only, and you will still have 15 stitches at the end of this round. Now for rounds 5 through 7, you are going to single crochet in every single stitch for 3 total rounds, and you should still have 15 stitches after this is done. Once you are done, you are going to slip stitch and fasten off, and you want to leave the tail long for sewing, and you want to repeat all of these steps to make the second leg. Now we are going to make the little backpack that's on their back, and to start this, you are just going to chain 11. For your second row, you are going to insert the hook in the second chain from your hook, and you are going to single crochet 10. For rows 3 through 9, you're going to chain 1, turn, and then single crochet 10. And you're going to do this for 7 rows, and at the end you should have a small rectangle. After you have completed all 9 rows, for this round you're going to single crochet along the other 3 sides of the square, and you're going to be inserting your hook in all those little gaps along the edges. Once you're done with those 3 sides, you're going to slip stitch to join to the first side. For round 11, you're going to single crochet all around the square, but in the back loops of each stitch only, and at the end you should count 33 stitches around. For the last round of the backpack, round 12, you're going to simply single crochet all around, and you should still have 33 stitches. And to finish off, you are going to slip stitch and fasten off and leave the yarn long for sewing. Now we're going to get started on the visor, and I really recommend having 4 stitch markers on hand. It just makes this part a lot easier to keep track of. To make the visor, you're going to grab your light blue, light grayish yarn, and you're going to get a loop on your hook and then chain 3. And now for round 2, this is where it gets a little bit tricky and your stitch markers are going to come in handy. I'm not going to fast forward through this so I can walk you through the first step. So you're going to turn and you're going to single crochet into the next chain, and then in this last chain right here you're going to do your first increase. Now you're going to want to grab your first stitch marker, and this one will represent the start and end of each of these rounds. So you want to make sure that you have that in there. And now we're going to do another increase into the same chain of the first increase. Now you're going to want to make sure you grab your second stitch marker and mark this increased stitch. Now you're going to want to do your third increase, making sure to mark that with a stitch marker afterwards. Now you're going to do your fourth and final increase for this round, and make sure to, again, put your stitch marker in there, it'll really help. Alright, and to finish this round off, we're going to do one single crochet. And I know it looks pretty chaotic with all these stitch markers, but trust me, it'll be a huge help later on. Now we're going to do round 3, and for round 3 we're going to pull out the first stitch marker and we're going to increase in that same stitch. After completing that increase, make sure you replace your stitch marker again, and then we're going to single crochet in the stitch in between these two first increases. Now we're going to pull out this purple stitch marker and we're going to increase in that stitch. Then you want to make sure that you replace the stitch marker, and in the next stitch, in between this increase and the next, we're going to single crochet 1. Now we're going to remove our other impromptu stitch marker and we're going to increase in that stitch. After replacing our stitch marker, we're going to single crochet 1 in between that increase and the next. And then after that single crochet, remove your next stitch marker and do another increase. After that increase, you're going to single crochet 2 to finish off this round. And from this point onward, you should notice a pattern. Every single stitch in between the increased stitches are going to be increasing by 1. For round 4, we're going to do what we did before, except the stitches in between are now increasing by 1 stitch each time. So this round, it'll be your increase, 2 single crochets, another increase, 2 single crochets, another increase, 2 single crochets, another increase, and then 3 single crochets to finish the round off. For this fifth round, you're going to increase, single crochet 3, increase, single crochet 3, increase, single crochet 3, increase, and then single crochet 4. And after this round, if you count from your first stitch marker, mine is blue, you should have 20 stitches total. And now for round 6, you're going to want to change your yarn color to black. So the way that I usually do this is I tie the new yarn color onto the tail of the other yarn color, and I slide the color that I'm switching to all the way up as close as I can to my hook, and then I will take my new color and I will yarn over and pull through to have that color on my hook. And then in order to just make it look as neat as possible, I pinch close to the hook and I pull the tail of the first yarn color that I want hidden. So after you've done that, you're just going to single crochet around and you should have 20 stitches by the end. So finally, you can slip stitch and fasten off. You want to make sure that you leave the black yarn long for sewing, but you can cut the light blue yarn short because we will no longer be needing it. Also at this point, you can take out all your stitch markers because we are done crocheting. To add a little bit of detail on the visor, I like to take some white yarn and sew a couple of stitches across the upper right side to make it look like a light reflection. And finally, we can get to the assembly portion. So you want to gather all your pieces, the body, the legs, the backpack, the visor, your needle, and some pins. So to pin on the leg placement, you want to put them as close to the bottom as possible so that when the plush is sat up, they help support it. Also, you'll notice that on the right leg, the end of the round, the start of where I'll be sewing, is at the bottom, and it is the opposite on the left leg at the top. This is so the legs sit at the same angle. For the visor, you're going to place it in the middle of the body and make sure that it is centered between the legs. And now for the backpack, you're going to place it with the rows horizontal, and you want to make sure that it's centered with the visor. And now you're going to sew the edges of all the pieces and make sure that you stuff each of them as you sew. Once you are done sewing and securing all the pieces on, make sure that you tie a knot and hide the excess yarn in the body. And just like that, your mini baby Among Us crewmate is complete. I really hope you enjoyed making yours as much as I enjoyed making mine. Please let me know down below how it went, and please like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Bye!